Now, there's a lot of major wrestling news and rumors to share with you guys today, and we'll start off with some major new details surrounding R-Truth's surprise return last night at Money in the Bank. There's no doubt that R-Truth returning last night has caused a lot of discussion among wrestling fans regarding his release this past weekend, and whether or not Truth was actually released. Some fans believe that Truth's release was a work that Triple H had carefully orchestrated to create an insane amount of buzz and make for a special moment at Money in the Bank, whereas other fans have the belief that WWE and TKO actually did release R-Truth, but that because of the overwhelming amount of backlash they had received over their decision this past week, the call was made to bring R-Truth back and sign him to a new contract. Well, it appears as though it has now been confirmed that R-Truth's release wasn't a work and was very much real, with Fightful Select providing a lot of noteworthy details on Truth's release and subsequent return at Money in the Bank last night, with eWrestlingNews.com summarizing the report by saying, quote, R-Truth is officially back in WWE, though technically he never really left. And no, this wasn't a storyline. At the conclusion of WWE Money in the Bank 2025, R-Truth shocked fans by attacking John Cena during the main event. Just a week earlier, he had publicly announced what many believed to be his release from WWE. However, WWE quietly clarified to Fightful that it was actually a contract expiration that hadn't officially taken place yet. Behind the scenes, sources close to Ron R-Truth Killings say he's already signed a new deal. His son, Christopher Killings, appeared to confirm the news with a cryptic but clear social media post. In the days following Truth's departure, a wave of wrestling promoters and companies reached out to try to book him, believing he was truly a free agent. Numerous WWE talents also confirmed that the situation was not a work. Several described emotional goodbyes and said the backstage atmosphere was one of shock and disappointment. One source put it bluntly. There were a lot of tears. Killings was shocked and kind of disgusted. We all were. According to talent close to the situation, Truth was let go in a cold and impersonal way, reportedly notified by a lower-level talent relations employee rather than anyone from upper management. Truth reportedly ignored multiple WWE attempts to reconnect throughout the week, until WWE CEO Nick Khan personally intervened. Sources say Khan's involvement led to a new contract being worked out in what was described as a meet-halfway agreement on a new contract. One veteran who's worked with Killings for more than a decade said, Ronnie wouldn't lie to us. If this was a work, he'd just ask us to keep quiet. He'd never go that far. And I think Paul Levesque knows working the locker room is just bad taste. Triple H, during the post-show press conference, implied that Truth's exit and return were all part of the show. But not everyone is buying that. Several talents refute his claims. Christopher Killings also posted a cap emoji, internet slang for a lie, in direct response to Triple H's statement. One veteran commented, "See? You can't control all these conversations." Another longtime wrestler was even more candid, saying, "I don't believe for a second that this was some grand plan, and I can tell Hunter hates it when the fans hijack the story." A close friend of Killings inside WWE summed it up with a mix of humor and heartbreak, saying, "It's hard to feel good when we fired Santa Claus. Fortunately, the tone backstage has since shifted. Now the mood is one of relief and celebration following Truth's unexpected return. It is said that the deal came together in the final 72 hours before the event." Now this is honestly a pretty wild situation because, what also hinted at R-Truth's release not being a work is that Carlito was released the same day and for similar reasons according to reports. So what R-Truth's release and immediate return has proven to us is that wrestling fans do have a voice and can change things if they band together for a common goal. Fans were not going to be letting WWE off the hook for releasing R-Truth anytime soon. And instead of having the "We Want Truth" chants hijack every WWE show moving forward, Triple H, Nick Khan, and other high-ranking executives decided to change their minds and give fans what they want. Now, it's kind of funny that Triple H tried to insinuate that R-Truth's return last night was all part of the show, and R-Truth's son quickly debunked that when he had taken to Instagram and posted a since-deleted story saying, "Stop the cap," basically suggesting that Hunter was doing damage control and that Truth's release wasn't any kind of a work or part of the show. Let us know down in the comments section below if you guys are happy that WWE took immediate action after all the backlash they received over their decision of releasing R-Truth and brought him back at Money in the Bank. And do you guys believe that Truth's release wasn't a work and was very much a real thing? As well, how do you think the company should book Truth moving forward? He's now going by Ron Killings, and perhaps is going to be taking on a more serious character. Would you like to see RTRUTH get a rematch with John Cena, this time possibly for the undisputed championship? Sound off in the comments section below. Now, while RTRUTH's return last night is arguably the biggest talking point coming out of Money in the Bank, with most fans being extremely happy with WWE for bringing him back, there's no doubt that a lot of fans are still unhappy with the way the men's Money in the Bank ladder match unfolded, with Seth Rollins predictably winning the briefcase over LA Knight. From what we've seen on social media following Money in the Bank, it appears as though a lot of wrestling fans are actually worried about LA Knight's status in WWE following the show, with some speculating that last night proved Triple H is never going to give LA Knight a push above mid-card status, because it seemed like the perfect place and time for Knight to finally win that Money in the Bank briefcase after 2 back-to-back unsuccessful attempts, and that Seth Rollins doesn't need the briefcase considering he's already an established main event talent who's a focal point of Raw with his new faction. Some are going as far as to say that Triple H could be releasing LA Knight from his contract soon, with last night's booking proving that Hunter has no plans for LA Knight moving forward. And while we can agree that the result of the men's Money in the Bank ladder match was pretty disappointing, considering Seth didn't need the win, we don't think it's time just yet to be writing off LA Knight and making claims that he's going to be getting released. The WWE just announced the King and Queen of the Ring tournaments will be kicking off this coming week, with the final set to go down at Night of Champions in Saudi Arabia on June 28th, and perhaps Triple H is planning for LA Knight to win King of the Ring this year, which could kickstart a push up the card. However, what we will say is that if LA Knight doesn't win King of the Ring this year, then that's when fans can really start to get concerned that LA Knight has no future in WWE, with a release not being far off if that's the case, whether Triple H releases LA Knight or Knight asks for his release. Now, following the announcement of RTRUTH and Carlito being released last weekend, there began to be a lot of speculation that former WWE champion The Miz was also soon going to be departing WWE, because of the fact that Miz had removed all ties to WWE on his Twitter account. However, The Miz has finally broken his silence regarding the reports of his WWE departure, with Miz revealing on his Instagram that the rumors aren't true and that he's still on good terms with WWE, revealing, quote, "And since I'm talking on here, I feel like I need to address some things because I keep getting texts from friends asking me, is the news on social media real? And my thing is, everyone get off of social media and don't listen to any of it, because it's all false. Everything I've seen about me is false, and I didn't want to address it. I thought it would just go away. I didn't want to draw attention to it because if I said something, then it might draw more attention, and I just didn't want that, but it just keeps going. So I will say it like it is. As far as X, Instagram, and TikTok and my profiles, I've never changed any of them recently. The last time I changed my Twitter profile was probably 5 years ago. It still says Twitter on it, so it doesn't say it. So I haven't changed that in like 5 years. I haven't unfollowed WWE at all. WWE and I are in very good standings. We just dropped Ms. Golf, which is part of WWE's YouTube. So, and then as far as WWE is concerned, tonight is the most important pay-per-view of the year in my opinion, because it's Money in the Bank. Well guys, that's it for today's major wrestling news. Make sure you leave a like and comment, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on, so you'll never miss out on an episode. Finally, if you haven't already, give us a follow on Twitter at TSE Wrestling, and we will see you guys in the next video.